Hi everyone.
Hello.
My name is Nino.
And my name is Lulu.
And this is Thriving at Love and Relationships. Now, today, we're going to be talking about something very serious.
It's not serious, John.
So what are we going to be talking about?
So I have my title and he has his own title. We're just going to agree on which
title.
So
you guys can pick and let us know in the comments.
Exactly.
So today we're going to be talking about wise lessons from our hiatus.
You just put wise. You did not say wise.
That's your business. Wise lessons from our hiatus, or from our break, or from our pause.
It's okay. Thank you. And my own topic is what we've been up to.
How does that sound? What we've been up to? It's like
because it's like this.
It's like when you're chatting a bit and say WUU2. What you've been up to? It's a very random this thing.
No, W is
what are you up to? What are you up to? That's what it is.
The point is
what
that
you've been up to.
Yeah, because this is a catch-up video to let them know what we've been doing.
From what we've been up to.
We can still talk about the lessons.
Like, we're not giving them gist that they don't want to know.
No,
it's the lessons that matter.
The gist, because they've been like, oh, we miss you guys. What have you guys been up to? Oh, and we're bringing all the gist.
No problem.
Professor.
Anyways.
Professor Proton.
Lessons from what we've been up to. So, please.
Nice one.
So, from our 3-month break, we're going to take you through a series of events that have happened with us and some lessons we've also learned from those events.
Yeah.
So, Lulu Banks, take it away.
So,
what's the first event?
The first thing that that had happened during our break was Nosa's grandmother turned 90 years old.
Yes.
Yeah.
My beautiful, delectable, fashionable grandmother turned 90. Over to you.
Young at heart, young physically grandmother,
Beautiful.
And we had to travel to Ibadan for the birthday. So yeah, it was very interesting. It was really interesting. That was my...
Was your first family?
No. Okay. My first family hangouts from his own side, where everybody was.
Yes. Actually, it was like my first susha.
Really?
Yes. I mean, we've had events and all that, but this was the first time where the whole nuclear, extended, semi-extended, ultra-extended family.
Wow, why weren't they there?
No.
Well, I guess it's because we're all staying in one place.
No, there were a lot of people that were there. I can mention a lot of uncles that I did
Okay, true.
So I know Yoruba guys, Yoruba people, we love
party.
Oh, I'm there. So people flowing from all sorts of places, different countries.
Because it was a big event.
States. Yeah. So this event was what brought everybody together. People had not seen in a while. People have heard of.
They had not seen.
You know, some people that come and be like, hey, Nosa, how are you? And I tap my mom like, who's that guy? That was your uncle from. I'm like, oh, uncle this, uncle that. You know,
I said that was really what it was. Most times I asked Nosa, who is this man? Because some of them just come and hug me. I'm like, oh, yeah, what Nosa? I'm like, oh, yes, ma. I'm on my knees. We're on the floor constantly.
You have to be kneeling.
Good afternoon, sir. Oh, gosh. And Nosa would just be like, I don't know who she is.
I think she was even friendlier to me because I was passing.
I was
more
friendly.
Grandmom's house. We had passed, and then one lady was like, "Oh, Nosa, how are you?" I was like, "Hi, hello there." And
I had to course correct immediately.
And I had to grab my mom like, "Who's that?" Like, "Oh, that's your auntie that she took." I said, "I don't remember these events that happened." It was a lot of people because, for example, we are both introverts.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of people. We had to be on full extrovert behavior.
And also wanted to hide in the hotel room.
I wanted to hide, yes. Because we all stayed at the same hotel. What hotel was it again?
Can't remember.
Yeah. It was in Ibadan. It was a really, really lovely hotel in the city. And, it was just an experience. I don't think I've been to Ibadan since 10 years.
What did you go to Ibadan for?
Just to go and visit my grandma.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
But me, I'm an Ibadan chick anytime. Because, I used to go to Ibadan steady.
No, you're not.
But my brother schooled in Ibadan, so sometimes I'll follow my mom for their open day or their visiting day. So
and fun fact, the Ibadan airport is actually now working. So most people didn't know that.
But people didn't know, yeah.
People always drive, but actually, if you want to go to Ibadan now, you can hop on a jet or on a flight, whichever one your pocket can do for you.
Yeah.
And you can 45 minutes.
But anyway, yeah. So back to the trip, So I remember the first day. So the first thing actually is that Nosa doesn't like to travel.
Yep.
Nosa is the pick me up, transport me to the location, let's start our holiday. Meanwhile, I love the thrill and the organization of everything. Like from I know we're traveling to booking the tickets, booking where we're staying, then the trip. Oh, that's
1 week before, 2 weeks before, like, we're going to Ibadan. We're going to Ibadan.
And that was such a.
I'm going to see so many people. I don't want to go. Can I find a way to get out of this? I don't want to go. So that was. It was an experience for us, and getting there. It just showed that sometimes you might not want to do some things, but I think seeing my family, it made me feel good. It made me feel good, loving people that we've seen in the past, maybe like 10 years ago, we've not seen in 10 years. I finally saw some of the aunties that I've missed, some of the uncles that I've missed. It was just a very warm event. So that was one of the things that we did.
So what was your wise lesson from Ibadan?
My wise lesson from Ibadan. When you get into marriage, you know how you've spoken about some certain things and your expectations from things that I'm trying to find a grammar. So for example, because it was the first family event, I thought that, okay, we're just going to go, myself and my wife, we're just going to attend the event, but we actually almost quarreled.
Like twice?
Yeah, twice there.
On that trip.
And it was just because of differences that we believe that we had already spoken about, but they still happened again and we didn't react in the way we expected to react. So that's just it, that marriage is a continuous learning process. Like even when you think, for example, you can say, oh, how would you feel if my mom comes over, like, oh, I'm really okay with it, and then my mom comes over and then we quarrel about something. So it's like you have to keep experiencing and learning. It's like rinse, wash, rinse, wash, rinse, wash. So for me, it was just being present for the journey and just learning from the experiences. It was something for me. So how about you?
So for me is the fact that I made a conscious effort to make sure that I was not offended by anything. Yeah. Because there are things that he had done that had offended me, and I made sure that, I'm not going to take offense, because it was as much as it was his grandmother's event, it was also his event in some way. And if I had carried my face or become angry, it would affect his own mood and it would affect his own outputs to the event. And I didn't want it to be about me. So all the things that he had done, I had just tried to overlook them, and then we had the conversation about them like later on, And also the fact that I had to remember that in as much as Nosa's family is warm and welcoming and they are lovely and beautiful people, I had to make sure that I was also a daughter during the event. So I wasn't like somebody on the sideline just watching, I had to also be participating, in everything. So it was really nice. Mommy gave us bread. Special order coconut bread.
Actually, one more thing for me is, funny enough, I always used to think that because of my personality that, once I marry, we're creating our own family. Let's leave all this family thing, my family, blah, blah. But actually, when I got there, I actually found that I actually love my family, Sha. Don't tell them I said that, but
they will see it.
I actually really love them, but sometimes, I always like to form like, no, beg, but, it actually made me feel warm. So, you learn more about yourself in marriage. Things that you did not even know that you liked or that you didn't like. When you get into marriage, you will learn a lot about it.
Yeah, so speeding up. Next event, we travel.
Yes. We went on vacation to London, the UK. We went on vacation, and it was a long time coming because it's been a long year for us, and constantly recording, work, church, everything was just taking a toll on us, and also on our marriage. So we needed to take some time away from Nigeria and its news, good and bad, and its economy, to refresh and recharge.
Before you go into your spin-off. Anyway, this was, aside everything he has said, it was also very exciting for me because it was my first time in the UK, in London specifically. It was my first time, and it was like I said before, the whole journey to planning it, getting on the plane. Every 2 days I'll be like, guy, we're traveling to the UK, guy, we're traveling to London. It was very exciting.
And I was like, I know.
Yeah, and maybe because also my mom, my dad, and my sister also stayed there, so it was like it was also an opportunity to spend time with them. But something happened on this trip. Now, before we traveled, Nosa's mom had texted us individually, and she was like, "Make sure you do everything you can to not quarrel. To not quarrel on this trip." I was just thinking that, oh yeah, mommy, yes, thank you.
Because,
we know
because we had traveled before as a couple,
and
she didn't text us to say don't quarrel. I couldn't really understand why she was saying make sure the devil does not steal this. You know, my mom can be very spiritual.
Actually, that's what she said.
The devil. Just say don't quarrel. Say make sure the devil does not come in between. But I'm like, guy, you don't have to be so graphic.
But anyway, we did not heed that careful piece of advice, and we quarreled.
Yeah,
what do we quarrel about?
We did. So here is the gist. So in retrospect, thinking about it, because growing up, we always used to go to London for holiday and vacation, and even in recent years, I think last year I'd been to London like twice. So London was like a normal destination for me, and I wasn't as excited to go to London as I was excited to go on vacation. Meanwhile, she was excited to go on vacation, go to London, see her family, go to a new place,
go shopping,
shop. So there was so much excitement for her. So it looked like for the vacation we had different expectations of what we wanted to do. So what we fought about, the major thing, we actually fought on Oxford streets. Yeah. When we were meant to go shopping, we were fighting on the Oxford street.
Yep.
And it wasn't like aggressive fighting like
he walked away from me.
Yeah, I walked away from
her.
He
left me.
Yeah.
Stranded.
No, I didn't leave her.
He left me.
I left her with her sister. So people don't think I'm a bad person. She was with her sister on Oxford Street, and I left her and I walked into one of the shops.
Stormed off.
Because I was angry, So what did we fight about? So Oluchi, I think, so because it was her first time.
No.
What?
My name is Babe.
Okay, yes. She just reminded me that today. I called her Oluchi and she was like, who's that? I'm like, I don't understand. Did you introduce yourself to me as Babe? So my wife, or Babe, her expectation was, she wanted to go to London. It was vacation. It was a time to spend with her family and see her family, who she has not seen in a long time. For me, it was, I wanted to go on vacation to rest from everything with my wife.
And create memories with your wife.
And create memories with my wife. And her family just happened to be in that same destination. So 2 expectations. Vacation for me, sidebar her family. For her, her family, sidebar vacation, and her husband. Okay,
that's not
so her family
true.
and vacation, it was intertwined for you.
Yeah, so there was no one that was more important than the other.
So that's what I'm saying. So for me, the important thing for me was the vacation.
And for me, the important thing was everything.
Exactly. Now, so I'm saying this.
No, you are saying that me I put your by the side, and that's not what I did.
Yeah, sorry. Before we fight another fight. So yes. So I think, from my own perspective, when we were going, I think there was one. It was Saturday before, and she had said, "Oh, so when we get there on Sunday, we're going to see my family and my
we're having lunch with them."
We're having lunch. I was like, "Excuse you, why have you already planned our vacation before we've gotten there?" Without even, it was like she was just informing me. Okay, so on Sunday this is what's happening. On Monday this was happening. On Tuesday this one, and each of those 3 days it was an event with her family members. And of course, I mean, I love her family.
2 of the events.
Yes, the first 2 days.
Well, the first day was my sister actually coming to bring food for us.
No, I didn't have an issue with that.
So
that was
the second day was.
And then the third day. Exactly. So, and I was like, we're here for 7 days. You've already taken 3 days and made it about us seeing your family. And obviously, I didn't have any issue with that because every time I go to London, I usually see them. So, I think for me, I just felt like, she had just taken 3 out of my 7 days. 2 out of my 7 days. and I had to join her to spend time with, with her family and all that. So, and for her, what did you see it as?
I saw it as he was being selfish. He didn't want me to spend time with my family.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Yes, I just felt like he was being. Actually, I thought he was. I at the time I thought he was being unreasonable with his expectation because how would I come to London and not spend time with my dad and my sister? Like they are also a major highlight for us traveling to London. And it was later on that I realized where he was actually coming from. That yes, he wanted me to spend time with them, but he wanted also that the vacation was about both of us making memories together. And because it was my first time there, he wanted to show me around. He wanted to be the one to, take me to Oxford Street, take me to this place, take me to that place, and to be, and so when I'm recalling the story, I'm like, oh, no, sir took me to so and so, he took me to so and so,
But guess what?
Well,
I was not the first.
Well, you were. Technically, you were, because I really didn't.
Once people say technically, that means there's some sort of variation. So I was not the first. So her sister was the first.
She wasn't, God.
So if you are watching,
no, that's not what happened. Because
this.
he stormed off on us and me. My sister now felt like, she felt like, my sister is feeling sad. Let her, give me some little retail therapy.
She took
me to only 2 stores on Oxford Street, and then eventually we now went back to meet him. But the truth is that we didn't even walk to Oxford Street. So when we now eventually went together, there were places that he was now showing me. I'm like, this is here, that's here. Make me feel better, so truly, you took.
Anyways,
why have we gone through this?
There's no second first impression.
Sorry.
So I was settled for being the second person to take her around the streets. Anyway, so yes, that happened, and I think so. Her sister was trying to make us settle. I think there on the street, and I was like, don't worry, we will settle it in our own way when we get home.
Yeah, and we try to settle it in our own way.
I think after that evening, we had to meet a friend too, so we just had to not show that we were quarreling.
But I think she knew that there was something.
She might have, she might not have known.
No, anybody that knows us.
Okay, well.
Yeah, exactly.
So we just tried to pull it together for her, and funny enough, when we got home, it was coincidentally, she said, when we got to the room, she was like, she wants to go down to take fresh air. I was like, you fresh air at 10 p.m. It has never happened. I knew she was going to call somebody. And then I think you had called my mom.
Yeah, he went downstairs to actually call his mom.
And then funny enough, maybe 10-15 minutes after, I also called my mom because I was angry. And I was trying to vent out, like, maybe she will understand me. So she was advising both of us at the same time without us knowing. That she was advising us. Then eventually when she now came up, we now had a discussion and we settled it, and I think we slept like around 12 or 1
Yeah, but we really settled it the next morning.
Yes, the next morning.
Because I remember that we had talked about it that night, but there was still some lingering inside. And then the next morning he just woke up like, he's going out. I was like, where are you going to on your own? I don't understand. Is it what we came here to do?
I was angry. I said I'm going out. She said, well, I said I'm just going out.
I said, no, we cannot go anywhere. We came for this.
She said we came for this vacation together. I said, oh, really? Now you remember we came together.
Petty. So I
was like, since you could know London, your sister taking you have where to go to. Me, I'm going by myself.
So I think the wisdom for me in this one was that I wanted to feel, because I still felt like he wasn't seeing things from my own angle. And I remember the Holy Spirit telling me that that's not what this is about. Your husband just wants to feel like he's important. And I remember I was sitting on the couch, he was on the bed, and we're having a conversation. And I remember leaving the couch and going to the bed and holding his leg.
Yeah.
And then I was now talking. As I was talking, as I was talking, there was a bit of warmth that started coming back into our conversation. Because I think that, I don't know, but for me, I think that when body language also has something to do in when you are quarreling, or even how you settle the quarrel, right? There's a difference between when we're sitting opposite each other and when we're sitting close to each other talking about something. Our bodies are touching, there's more intimacy, you know. So went on the bed, had a convo with him, and then I just appealed to him, and then that's how we settled it. And then we had a nice trip afterwards.
Yeah, and we did other things. Wink wink. Anyways, so
that was it for that. So the next thing that happened was Nosa's birthday.
No, leave, we're not done with London. Anyways, so what did we learn from the trip to London?
I've said my own now.
Well, for me, what I learned was also like what I said about the trip to Ibadan. Expectations. Talk about events before they happen in marriage. Because we were going on vacation, and we had gone on a vacation before to Dubai. I mean, none of our family members were there, so we had a swell time. But however,
we quarreled still
in Dubai zone.
Yes. When we were at the water park.
Okay, and that one is, nobody says that because you're on vacation, we're not quarrel now.
Which takes me to my own lesson. But continue.
Oh, so now you have lesson after I've started. Anyway, so for me, it was, we didn't discuss about it well enough to say, okay, now that we're going to London, your family is going to be there, how are we going to do it? I think I just had an expectation that because I was going to London with my wife and we're going on vacation, she would see it from my point of view. I didn't also sit back to think that, first of all, this is our first time in London, our family members are there, how would they want to be for her? So actually sitting down to discuss something, because there are some families that maybe they relocate, and where they relocate to, one person's family is there, or another person's family is there, or nobody's family is there. You might just think that you are going together, but when you get there, you will now begin to see some things that you did not expect. So I think my lesson is to talk more about events before they happen. Any first time event in your marriage or your relationship, talk about the expectations you have, so that when those things happen, you don't just get surprised. So I think that's my lesson. How about you?
So my lesson is, I think days before we traveled, or some weeks before we traveled, Tara and Fela Durotoye had done a video on their anniversary, and Fela Durotoye had shared something that normally when they travel, he's the one that would mostly get to the airport early enough, be there checking all of that. Meanwhile, Tara would just come in to catch the flight, you know, and it was something that was always a problem for them. And then they now sat down and said, you know what, this is what we're going to agree to do. Whenever we travel for our vacation, no matter what happens, we are not going to take offense, because what happens is that the first 3 or 2 days of the vacation, you're already angry at each other. You've already lost it, you know. And that was something that I saw in our own vacation, that if we were not careful, would have allowed some, whether small or big, still the days that we had, because the thing is, whether you believe it or not, the devil does not want you to have fun with your spouse. Doesn't want you to create memories. So you have to be very intentional to say, you know what, no matter what happens, we're not going to quarrel. And it's okay to have a misunderstanding, but let the misunderstanding not enter quarreling. Because once it does, it's something different.
And settle it fast, because you're there for memories, not to, and you don't want your memories to be recorded on Oxford Street, like us.
Even that's the memory we have forever and ever in our lives.
We tell our children that this Oxford Street was the first place we quarreled in London.
This was when your father left you to go to H&M. But yeah, that was it for London.
But important thing, now, from the topic that we both mentioned, what do you think is the ideal topic? Lessons from what we've been up to. Can you see? Okay. Can you see? Have we not, let me not go and spoil the English. But can you now not see that it's lessons that we're sharing?
So can you see that 2 is still better than 1?
2 is better than 1.
You said wise lessons.
Are these lessons not wise?
I said what we've been up to. But when you merge the 2 of them together, it's something.
I prefer lessons from my hiatus, but okay. Anyway,
but you just said lessons from what we've been.
Anyhow, so that's just an important side note, or a non-important side note. So, what's the last thing we've been up to before we close?
Your birthday.
Okay, so, my birthday. Yeah. So I turned, none of your business, on July 24th. And moments leading up to that date, I've just been feeling a strong impress in my heart that I needed to go on a retreat. I listened to Apostle Selman always say that it's very important to go on retreats at
a new season.
Yes, when you feel like there's a new season coming upon you. And I just felt strongly that there's a new season coming in my life, not just for Nino and Lulu, but for my personal life, for my spiritual life, and I needed to just take some time away. So I took 2 weeks off work, so we used 1 week for the trip to London. So when we got back, I had booked a hotel and told her I was turning off my phone, called my family members, if you want to reach me, reach my wife, she's my PA for this point, and also spoke to her about it, because some people just think that if you want to take a retreat, your wife should understand.
Or your husband should
understand. The 2 have become one. You cannot just make spiritual decisions without involving them. If you want to fast, if you want to do all those things, let your partner know. So I had spoken to her about it and said, okay, this is what God is saying. Should I go? She seemed a little bit too excited for me to go. I felt like, so maybe you'll be waiting for me to actually leave you for 2 days.
That's not true.
Or we'll come back to that. So like, yes, go, yes, go.
Because it was your first retreat and it was really nice.
And the day I left, I think when I left the house, I could hear her screaming, I'm alone!
So that's just lies.
I think I could
hear. That's just
I didn't say I heard
your imagination was running wild.
It was my imagination. Anyways, so yes, it was actually my first retreat. I mean, I've had times where I would fast and pray, but this was the first time where...
And I was proud of him.
Yeah. I locked away the whole world, everybody, social media, I turned off my phone. I was unreachable and I just locked myself in one little room in a hotel in Abuja, and just prayed, worshipped, watched messages, read my Bible, and slept and listened to the voice of God. And God spoke to me in different ways, and He prepared me for what was coming ahead, and and I got prepared, and I think it was 3 or 4 days before my birthday.
Your birthday was on a Monday. You left on Tuesday, came back on a Thursday.
Yeah. So my birthday came, and it was a fantastic day. But in that season, we'll talk about my birthday after, a lot of things now happened. Like back to back, that were very, really tough times for us. And God was just telling me that a lot of times when you are preparing for a new season, the devil is also preparing for you as well. So when you receive a word from God and God says this is going to happen, the devil is always going to come with contention to try and steal that word. But God saw us through that season, and He's still seeing us through the season. So my birthday.
Yeah, his birthday.
She was the one that planned the birthday for me. And I had fun that day.
Are you sure?
Yes, I had fun. Well, 99%. I had fun.
What?
No? I had fun. I went to work, celebrated us at work. She bought me a new suit, by the way. So if you see pictures from my birthday, that suit I was wearing was my wife that got it for me. She listens. So the guy of birthday I am, whenever I want something, I always start dropping clues. 3-4 months. Guy, on my birthday, this is what I want. I want this shoe, I want that. And I was really happy with the gift. And we went for dinner that evening. She wore a very cute red dress. So I could not take my eyes off her. And we had fun. We ate till our stomach was full. Yes,
really?
We literally came home very tired. We couldn't even stay for dessert.
Yeah,
and then we came home and we slept.
Wow, just to put it in there. Anyway, what's the wise lesson from this? I think it's mostly about the retreat and the fact that, like he said, whenever you want to do something, don't just do it. I remember there was a convo that we had, and he was telling me about how he felt like sometimes I take individual decisions without having to involve him, and it's not necessarily taking permission from your spouse, but actually talking about it. Now there has been this general notion that once you marry, you cannot have your own me time, you can't do things on your own, but that's not true. That as a couple you should discuss, okay, are you okay with me going on a retreat or going on a vacation by myself, or just taking out some few days on my own, and I think it's really important that couples really do that, because you spend 365 days together mostly, and one day in the whole year, it's okay to just say, okay, I'm going to do my own thing, even if it's I'm going to do a massage or I'm going to visit a friend or spa, whatever. I know
it's important that you said this, because it's also very important to know that you can actually negotiate with God sometimes on some particular things. Because it reminds me of that message that we're listening to, how a particular man of God and his family and his wife, God told them, leave Lagos and move to Abuja, don't take anything, leave everything, carry your children and move. And he told God, he said, we're going to leave everything, but I will not touch the children's toys. Because if I leave their toys in Lagos and move them without the toys, they will have an impression of God that God is wicked. So please let us take everything, but let us carry the children's toys. And God is like, fine, go ahead.
And it's really what Abraham did with God. How about if there are so and so number of people? How about if, and that's really who God is not just Alpha and Omega, is also our Father.
Because so if you explain to him, for example, if I want to go on a retreat for 2 weeks, God is saying, come for 2 weeks. And my wife is like, 2 what? 2 weeks without you.
Both of us are going together.
Exactly. I tell God, Alpha, this baby go to miss meal. More make them 3-5 days, then we'll do it progressively. God is like, okay, no problem. Go like this.
But then again, it depends on what God really wants to do. If is that okay, you need at least a week. Then that one you have to obey.
And God will also, you say, God, as you're saying this to me, speak to my wife too, so that her heart is able to receive this. I mean, when God spoke to Mary, He spoke to Joseph as well, because He knew that information was quite heavy on the heart. So those were the lessons. And if you're in a relationship, if you're in a marriage, like what we said, discuss things with your spouse. Don't just take personal spiritual decisions.
Not just your life anymore.
Because I know that a lot of believers, we like to believe that I'm a man of God, I'm a woman of God, so I can just go on a fast for 10 days, 15 days, no sex. My wife will understand. Or go on a retreat 2 weeks, my wife will understand. But no, the two have become one.
One.
So yes, those are our lessons from what we've been up to These are lessons from our hiatus. And we hope that
this is what we've been up to.
We hope that you enjoyed this video. We're back now at work, back now recording, and we're looking forward to more experiences that we'll share with you guys. So please like, share, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at the Nino and Lulu for more clips, content, and bits from our life. Once again, I'm Nino.
And I'm Lulu.
And this is Thriving at Love and Relationships.
See you next week, same time, same place.
Peace out.